Guys, I thought I would do a quick video, give them a little update of what's going on. Sorry, I'm a little short of breath today, but I need to stop saying the last video I had made, I decided that I wasn't going to go to work because I was supposed to work the next 2 days, and I was feeling really bad, and I normally don't call out of work, and so I woke up the next morning and I called the cardiologist office, and the cardiologist, I had already called at 3 o'clock in the morning, the cardiologist I see off the mountain, and left a message, and they had called me back right away, and that doctor is on vacation. And he has it where none of his colleagues can put me on any medication, because the last time they did, one of them almost killed me. So that's not really an option. And he didn't mean to, guys. I should probably clarify that. He has said that the cardiologist up here can put me on medicines and change my medicine doses and such like that. They work together, and they work together very well. So he's out of town, and so I get told to call a cardiologist in town. And I know on Thursdays, the cardiologist I see only does stuff, he does tests at the hospital, like the cardiologist himself. And so I got the bright idea, instead of calling and having to wait for an answer, because I knew I wouldn't get one, I decided to go to work, because I knew I would see the cardiologist. And I was just like, at this point, people, and it's none of the staff I work with, but it's other individuals in the hospital, especially in the emergency room, who keep telling me that it's all in my head. And so I thought, well, I'm really symptomatic. My heart rate's high. I can't really do anything. If I'm doing something, my heart rate was so high you could physically see the repercussions I was having on my body. So I went into the hospital, and I didn't tell any of the staff that I was feeling really bad, and our patient load was really low, but they immediately could tell. I went to do something, and I stood up, and I turned so red. I was so flushed. And they were just like, you gotta sit down, you have to sit down. And so when the cardiologist came up, they told him, I didn't see him when he came up, and they were like, you really need to go see Jessica, you need to go talk to her. And so I talked to him for a few minutes, told him what was going on, and he put me on one of the heart monitors, because I work on the cardiac floor, ironically. And my heart rate was 160s, 170s. I was in SVT with a bunch of PVCs added as well. I had a bunch of, and it was an ugly rhythm. I've never seen a rhythm so ugly. And so he gave me some IV meds right there, because he said that needed to be broken, because I had probably been in it now for a couple of days. And he told me, because this is at 6 o'clock now, that I needed to call his office first thing in the morning and get in with him or his nurse practitioner. So when I called, they were like, well, they're both at the hospital right now. can you call back at 10:30 when they're done with testing and back over at the office? So I do, because I called at 8 a.m. I didn't sleep Thursday night at all. And so I called, and the nurse practitioner's taking vacation. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And the soonest I could get in with the actual cardiologist, like the MD, was November 28th. And I was just like, pretty sure he doesn't want me to wait that long. And so I actually have an appointment on the 17th with the nurse practitioner. So I'm excited. I saw him. I went back to work Friday, and he asked me if I got an appointment because he didn't see me on the schedule for that afternoon, and he was concerned because he really wanted me to get in. And when I told him what happened, because it was a mess, first they couldn't find me in the computer, and I got a heart attack. I was just freaking out. I was like, I know I'm in that computer system. But he ended up giving me a few medicines, just in case it got uncontrollable again. But he doesn't want me to take them. I think it was like 10 days prior to me seeing the nurse practitioner. So basically, from today to the 17th, I can't really take them unless I absolutely have to. But I'm really excited about going in to see the nurse practitioner rather than the doctor himself. I mean, I love Dr. Fox. He is one of my favorite doctors ever. But Kathy, who's the nurse practitioner, had asked me something when I went back to the hospital after when I was getting over my hepatitis. And she had asked, if I was still having the heart rate problems, if I was still having the fainting and the lightheadedness and the dizziness and all of that, causes me to have to go to the cardiologist so often. And I was like, well, yeah. And I was in the process of working with the chart as well. And she was just like, well, when was the last time you went to Baptist? And I was like, beginning of August. And she asked when the last time I had gone to their office, because I had seen her the beginning of July, but I was like, well, I went and saw Dr. Fox mid-August, and she was just like, and you haven't seen anyone since. And that had been like 2 months at that point, so now it's going on 3 months. It'll be 3.5 months since last time I saw a cardiologist when I go see her. And she told me, why, she questioned, she goes, well, why haven't you gone? You need to go to the doctor before then. You can't wait that long if you're having these symptoms. You really need to still keep getting checked out. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm over complaining about it. I'm tired of saying, hey, this is the problem over and over again. I said, I told her we didn't know what was going on with my liver, and that was more of a concern to me right now than anything else. But in reality, and I've been talking to one of my really good friends about this, who's actually a pediatric cardiologist, and I was just like, if I go to the emergency room and my heart rate's 180, they look at me and tell me to call the cardiologist in the morning. They don't do anything. They tell me that I'm causing this myself. And this is what, like, a couple of the nurses had asked last week. They kept telling me I needed to go to the ER, I needed to go to the ER, and I was like, well, they're not going to do anything. And that's how I was feeling going to, like, being told to go to the doctor all this time, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, okay. Especially when I was so sick with my pancreas and my liver, my family doctor kept sending me to the ER for fluids and stuff like that, and they would sit there and tell me, I'm not giving it, you don't need them. And I'm like, well, he sent me here for it. He's the one that called. I don't understand what the problem is. And, they just kept saying, it's you. You're doing it to yourself. And I wanted to prove that, no, I'm not doing this to myself. If I was doing this to myself, it should have gotten better by now, and I'm in the same spot now that I was 3 months ago. And for the last 3 months, I've been doing absolutely whatever I can to distract myself from my body. And so I'm going to actually sit down and talk to her and tell her all that, because I didn't tell her how much crap I was getting from other people in this county about my symptoms and stuff. And she actually, the first time I ever saw her, pretty much told me all I needed to do was exercise and get a personal trainer and, stuff like that. And then she realized that no, like the next time I saw her and I was so symptomatic and had all these problems, she was like, oh, you're really not kidding. But I really hope that she will listen. And I'm really praying that she will be willing to help, and that she won't be like, well, I don't know, cause I'm not asking for a miracle. I just want to do little things. I want to be able to take a shower. Under no circumstance should getting dressed in the morning be a cardiac workout. I want to be able to wash my clothes. I can't get to where the washer and dryer is in this house, because it's on a split level, and I have 6 stairs I have to get up if I get down to the washing machine, and I can't get back up them. Leaving the house, the driveway is like that, because we're on a mountain. That's what happens when you live in the mountains. But it's little stuff like that, to be able to, like, even the nurses have been like, you can't walk down the hall without getting short of breath and getting red or really flushed, and you have to sit down and rest, and they're like, that's not normal. And so I'm really hoping, and I'm going to tell her, if she doesn't think I'm very symptomatic, or if I'm making it up, like, you can talk to the nurses. They've seen me trying to work with this. So I don't know. I'm really nervous about it, because I've never really told her any of that. And I'm going to kind of probably catch her off guard in the fact that I'm going to be like, I don't care. And that she's not going to be able just to prescribe me any medicine, because I want to research any medicine and make sure that none of them have anything to do or have any known causes of hepatitis caused by it. And I want nothing new on the market, so it's going to be probably really, really hard for her. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, if y'all could pray for that as well, that would be fabulous. Yeah, I need to take a nap now. I'm really tired. But yeah, everything else is, just kind of going. But I hope y'all are doing well. And if you have anything like we do this week, enjoy a nice Indian winter, because it's gone from being 30 degrees outside to like 60, and I'm confused. That's pretty normal. So I will talk to y'all later.